Hello everyone, this is Rachit, and today we are going to talk about what event loop is. But before we dive into what event loop is, let's understand what are the basic principles on which JavaScript works, right? So, and also let let us ask what JavaScript is in his own terms. If you ask JavaScript, what are you? JavaScript would say, I am a single threaded, non blocking, asynchronous, concurrent language. All these terms are very important. Single threaded means it will work on a single thread, it cannot use multi threading. Non blocking means that it does not get blocked. Asynchronous means it works asynchronously. Concurrent means it can perform two actions at a time also via an algorithm and so on. Let's not dig deep into these terms, but it will be very helpful for you to uh, search on your behalf what all these terms means because they all contribute to what actually JavaScript is, right? So JavaScript would say, I have a call stack, I have an event loop, and I have a callback queue. Yes, JavaScript has both a stack as well as queue. And somewhere in between, it has a very small algorithm called event loop and some other APIs and stuff. But JavaScript works on a compiler called V8, which was developed by Google. What would have V8 said? V8 says that it only has, if we ask V8, do you have call stack event loop, callback queue, and other APIs? It would say no. I just have call stack and an heap. So where does all the other things are coming from? These are coming from the JavaScript itself. It is not written in V8. It is an algorithm on which the JavaScript itself works, right? This is because there are more compilers than V8 on which JavaScript can run, right? So it is an important concept. Hence, it is written inside your JavaScript itself. Your V8 only has a call stack and heap. How does V8 has implement heap and stack? Heap is basically your memory allocation. All the memory comes in heap, and stack is basically for the execution. Okay, so V8 only has stack and heap. Heap is used for memory allocation, and stack is used for the execution purpose. What exactly is a call stack? Call stack is basically a small stack on which a function comes, gets executed, and goes out, right? Since it is a single threaded, it has only one call stack, it can only perform one thing at a time. Let's take an example. So if we have a function, uh, if we have a program written like this, we have a function multiply, which just returns the multiplication of two numbers. We have a function square, which is calling multiply with the same parameters. We have print square, in which we are just console log these squared values, right? How will this go and get performed in V8? Firstly, it will call your main inside the V8. It will see where it needs to get started. It will see that it has to start from print square function, right? It will go to print square function. It will see, okay, another function is getting called inside this. Your print square goes into stack. Then your square uh, goes into stack. It sees that, okay, there is another function getting called inside it, multiply, and your multiply gets into stack. Now it is simply returning A into B. So firstly, multiply will pop out of a stack, then square, then print square, and then the whole execution of the this program it's completed, right? See, firstly multiply will return A cross B where it was called. So this becomes return A into A, right? Now square will pop out of this stack. It will, whatever the return it provides, it gets into squared, and then it checks, okay, I found a console log as well. Till here, everything gets executed. Till var squared is equal to square, it has a value now. It can move to next line. So your console.log gets pushed into a stack, then it consoles log, and then the main function gets executed and your stack becomes empty, right? Everything is clear till now? Cool. What happens when you call a recursive function without using any conditions? So firstly, it will see that, okay, you are calling foo, which is also returning foo, which is getting called, then again and again and again. Hence, this stack will get full, and your browser will say maybe you was not supposed to call 30,000 times the same function. So it returns you an error that maximum call set exceeded, right? This is simply a check when the stack is fully filled in your browser, right? But what happens? Everything is fine right now, right? We did not see any event loop happening until these slides, right? But why is this concept of event loop even came into picture? Let's see what happens when things are slow. For example, we are making a synchronized call that is one after another inside your program, right? Your foo will call, suppose, an API or foo.com. When this API gets completed, your bar will get called. When the bar gets completed, your cooks will get called, and then all these console logs will get called. Okay, these are called synchronized iterations, right? See, in your stack, there is main, and then it checks, okay, it is making an API call. It will wait for the API call to get executed, waiting, 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 right? After this waits gets completed, it will see what next line is. It will go into the stack, gets executed, waiting, 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 and this may never get completed. And your next line will also never get complete, never gets executed, and your browser crash. Your website is non-responsive at the moment, right? Now you understand why this is very slow and why it needs to perform things simultaneously, right? To perform things simultaneously, after all these, it will check for your console logs, it will push it into a stack, it's executed, and things like those, right? Now, let's see how event loop came into picture. So suppose this is an example code on which you have some HTML in which you have a button. On that button, we have a click event. The click event says set timeout for 2000 milliseconds, and then console log, you click the button. Then you have console log and another set timeout and another console log. Okay. What will happen if event loop is not in picture? It will first check this console log because this is just a function definition, right? Then it will wait for 5 seconds and console log click the button, right? And you are stopping for 5 seconds just to see click the button. And then it will console log welcome the loop. And when you click, what will happen? When you click another, you have to wait for 2 seconds to see the console log, right? See how long the procedure has become. How JavaScript solved this issue is other programming languages are multi-threaded, right? But they perform on a server. The problem here is you have to perform on a browser. Browser is not that strong as your own system, right? You can have a server with 100 GBs, 200 GBs of memory, right? And 32 GBs of RAM, 64 GBs of RAM that can perform very fast. And you can have all those multi-threading, multi-processing type of things. But here, since it is a browser, we have to have something different because this browser in itself is not too powerful, right? So JavaScript developers came with a solution where they introduced the stack was already getting used. They introduced a queue as well. Okay. And this spiral, this is the event loop. The main purpose of the event loop is when this stack is empty, whatever is in the queue, whatever is next in the queue, push it into a stack. Okay. But remember, whenever the call is stack is empty, until and unless your call stack is empty, this event loop will not trigger whatever is in the queue. Okay. Now let's see how it runs. See. Okay. Let's rerun it again, one by one. See, it just encounters your first function definition. It does not have to perform anything, so it goes into your memory heap. Okay. Then it encounters your console log. It encounters your console log. This is a part of your web API, so it gets pushed into web API. Okay. It gets pushed into a web API. It will wait over there. This is these web APIs are the APIs provided by browser. These are not REST APIs per se. These are the web APIs, which is different from REST APIs, in which these APIs are provided by browsers. So your $.on, set timeout, set interval, all these functions are provided by browsers and these come under web APIs. Okay. Now it encounters console.log. Your console.log is printed, right? It encounters your set timeout. It goes into your web APIs as well. It will trigger a timer for 5 seconds and it encounters your console.log again, which will get executed directly. When the timer is completed, it goes into queue, and since the stack is now empty, event loop will trigger, which will push this set timeout to your call stack. Okay, it outers another console log and it gets printed. Let's run it one more time. We got high, we got welcome to loop. A timer is running for 5 seconds. It goes into queue. Your event loop triggered. Your set timeout is in the queue. In the set timeout, it encountered your console log. And again, we have click the button, and when we click the button, it will basically do the same thing. It will encounter your set timeout. It will go into web APIs after 2 seconds. It will go into queue. If the call stack is empty, it will push into the call stack and run gets executed. Understood? So if anybody asks you what event loop is a small piece of code which just keeps on checking whether the call stack is empty. If it is empty and we have something in the callback queue, it pushes one element at a time to the call stack, and call stack executes it, gets empty again. Event loop is keeps on checking whether there is something in the queue. If there is something in the queue, it pushes into stack till the all the things are empty. Understood? Cool. Just one more time. Most of the time, when there is nothing blocking happening, only the caller stack will get executed. It will take one thing at a time, right? It will pop one thing at a time until, and if it encounters some blockage type of web APIs, it will push it into web APIs. Web APIs has some functionality written. For example, with set timeout, it has some timer. When the timer gets completed, it goes to the queue. Event loops keeps on checking whether the call stack is empty. If it is empty, whatever is in the queue, it pushes into a stack and stack executes it. Then the same process gets followed. If there is something in the queue, it pushes into a stack, and till the stack is empty and your whole program is executed. Awesome. Okay. Thank you so much.